All right, mic check, mic check, mic check. Should be able to hear, see the screen, all that. Mr. Blue here, TradePhantoms.com. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Big day today. CPI. Walter is already fired up. I like it. Looks like missed 1 hour. Looks like you missed a 1 hour short GC. So you get trading one micro. Got to cover the stop level. Yeah, I hear you, brother. Trading one contract is always going to be a little more difficult, if you will. The lack of scaling that you are not able to do. But just stay the course, man. You'll grow your account, you'll trade bigger, and you'll be able to have more bigger TPs and runners, etc. targets. So all good. Today's a big day. So here you go, TradePhantoms.com, right? Mr. Blue here. We'll spend about maybe an hour, give or take, with you folks here, and maybe trade the open. Today is September 11th. RIP to everybody. They're kind of a crazy day for years and years ago. So always kind of give respect to 9/11. And on top of that, that's not the main thing, but the trading, in regard to trading, just kind of diving right into it, folks, here. We got today being Thursday. We just had core CPI and unemployment claims, right? Somewhat came in as somewhat expected, a little bit higher for the month over there. They're chatting over there on CNBC and Bloomberg and all these financial channels. Great. I'm not going to turn this into an economic class, especially for right now. But as always, we stress a lot about trading what the tape is doing, what the price action is doing, reacting off of what the news was, anyways, right? So it all matters about how the price action is going to respond. Fundamentals can take a little bit more longer to kind of unravel, right? The one thing that I will make a note of too, that's I just want to put on the dock here, even just for YouTube, Phantoms YouTube, is this here, the CME Watch tool from Chicago Mercantile Exchange, FedWatch tool, and this is super important. I'm not on my regular home-based computer, so I'm streaming off of a random laptop or screen, so it's not going to be as ideal as what it usually is with yours truly, Mr. Blue, but I'm making it happen here. So I'll copy and paste this into the chat. If you don't have this is people that are here will be able to get it. But it's FedWatch tool. If you just Google FedWatch tool, CME Group FedWatch tool, we are 6 days away from the federal announcement, the Federal Reserve FOMC announcement, right? So if I kind of zoom in, I'm not going to go through this too insane here. But if I scroll down, see, we 6 days away. So it's next week, of course. We should all know that. That's September 17th, right? 6 days from now. And if I scroll, this is the next date, right? So it has a chart here, bar chart. And if I just kind of scroll down, these, the list of the meetings, the next one's going forward. I'll maybe zoom this in a little bit there so you can see a bit better. And if I just scroll down here, probabilities, right? So right now, as it stands, 80, say 81. Let me go to this chart better. It's better over here. There we go. It's a lot better. All right. So if I go to forexfactor.com, as you can see, the U.S. still has rates at 4.5, right? We're the top right now in terms of the interest rate. And so that's where we're at. And if I go, where's the FedWatch tool? If I go back here, all right, there's a 89% chance, 89% chance that they're not going to do anything. Looks like, right? 445. So the reason that I'm bringing this up right now is because CPI is a big hit point, unemployment claims as well. And the meeting is next week. So we're going to see how this thing changes overall as that unravels, right? Sometimes this changes immediately. This is just a quick little, here's the meeting, and there's the rate, right? The rate. And so, of course, if we were to have a higher probability of cut, okay, this would be a higher probability right there. So it's a high probability they're going to remain kind of the same. This is going into it right now, right? Take that for a grain of salt right now. But, this thing has been working. This thing works awesome. And I don't think this thing has ever been wrong. This is the Fed Fund futures. You can trade futures on Fed Fund rates. So I would suggest probably not to do that, but we could use the information, okay, to put the probabilities on it, because this is where money goes, right? So people talk, people have opinions, people have thoughts, people have different economic schools of thought, and that's okay, right? Harvard versus Yale, etc. That's okay. But money. Where's the money going? Follow the money. So that's why Fed Fund futures, where people are putting on risk, okay, for expected rewards, etc. And that's what you want to mainly see, right? That's the ultimate vote there, right? So we'll put a pin on that. We can talk a bit more about that next week. Hoping things more normalized next week. But let's get to the charts. That's what's most important here right now, right? And so I'll do that. Yeah, so I'm not on my main computer, so it's kind of annoying here, but I will start out here with the major 4 indexes. I did not want to cancel this on you folks here today. So, all right, so we got the S&P futures upper left. We're going to do this very quickly. NASDAQ upper right. Dow Jones lower left futures. Russell 2000 bottom right, all on a daily time frame. I'm just going to pop. Well, before I do that, CPI just came out, so 0.24 up. S&P's 0.31 up on NASDAQ. We got Dow 0.24, Russell 2000 0.37. Okay, and opening this up, daily time frame. No, there's a lot of lines here, but we're just focusing on the hard right edge right here for right now. You know, got a simple, just a basic, 20 period moving average, exponential period moving average, just a filter. No big deal there. Current price right here. And, we're on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-day rally up rate. I mean, all-time highs again yesterday. So, there's not really much to say, folks, right? So other than, we're in the abyss. I keep saying that. I'm going to be using options depth, a couple other things, options and options depth, market maker gamma exposure, etc. for the S&P to look for overhead, supply. Now we don't have that, right? We don't have that if I look up and left on the actual charts. Okay, so therefore we have to go into kind of the unseen option open interest and options depth, so on and so forth. We had a little chat yesterday about Fibonacci extensions, which is okay, great. That's a good tool to just get some kind of extension off of the prior impulse move. But that's just kind of a line, a magical line where everybody is subjective, where everybody can pull it. People can pull it different ways, right? So the point that I'm trying to make is we're looking for better. Of course, I'm trying to train traders to get at a higher level, to beyond Fibonacci. No offense to Fibonacci's, but what are the market makers in the big money? You're talking about money, right? What are the big money going to be doing, right? So I will get to this chart over here. So this is the only thing, because the point that I'm trying to make here, to keep a short story long, because I'm already doing it too long here, is this is what's going to allow us to know what's going on above price, as there's no objective level of supply on the charts. So therefore, we have to use open interest in market maker gamma and the S&P SPX, which is the mother lordship, the benchmark of the whole markets, to get some insight of where this market could have overhead resistance. For example, yesterday in our trade room at TradePhantoms.com, right? At TradePhantoms, we were rallying, but there was just a heavy overhead, what's called positive gamma. So the team knew that, and underneath the price, we had negative gamma. So the team knew that any upside was not going to be as much high probability. And then as the day unraveled later, as you know, markets dropped yesterday. So I'll get to that in a moment. I'm going ahead, right? So let's back up here. I will drop down the smaller time frames, and we'll map out what's called our Globex traps, which we do every morning, no matter what. It's a setup that we start the process with. And also going to just reference this 20 period moving average here as well, hovering at the, the 85 level as well, just to give an insight there. Switched over to the NASDAQ. That's a good game. Redskins, Packers. Packers are scary this year. And that Redskins quarterback from LSU, he's legit. It's going to be a good game. Packers are scary this year. So we got current price NASDAQ futures. Mike Jameson, Money Mike's in the house. NASDAQ at the daily time frame. Current price down and left. Now, if I look up and left, NASDAQ is not at its all-time high. Hopefully you're well, brother. It's not at its all-time high. The all-time high was set over here on August 13th, 24,068. Great. Here's the current price right now. We had a high and a low yesterday. We'll see that on the small time frames here. We have some levels mapped out. I'm going to reference this 20-pin moving average here as well, right? If we pull back down in here, and that's where all these levels are, which will make more sense as I show you some formation on the 60-minute time frame in a moment. 1 hour time frame, intermediate. But yeah, if nothing's really stopped this market from going up, so we just have to continue to, at the moment, continue to buy these pullbacks into qualified levels of demand and ride the markets up. And if we are shorting, do it diligently, okay? And make sure you're not trying to be too greedy, as you don't want to be going against the trend. Team, I started the process out and I skipped one thing. This is how you know I'm off my rails a little bit here. Not in my home base, my home office, with all my screens, because I didn't open up this document. That's a crime. That's a crime. So, not really. The main strategy at Phantoms, of course, is going to be institutional demand supply, top down, multiple time frame analysis. You will see a lot of orange, yellows, and blues on my my charts. Anything that you see in orange is the monthly time frame association, right? Monthly levels, monthly highs, monthly lows. Weekly is going to be color code yellow. Daily is going to be color code blue. Okay, this is a quick little checklist for the Phantoms team to kind of get your routine started. Even if you're a short-term scalper, yes, you do need to check out the higher time frames, being the monthlies. Candlesticks, a bunch of fancy names. Location and context is going to be more important, right? These are going to be bullish candlesticks. In the context of uptrend, demand is going to be more important. Bearish candlesticks, bunch of fancy names on the bearish side. Location and context more important. Downtrends at the levels of supply. 5 fundamental truths of trading. Mark Douglas, Trading the Zone. It's a must read if you're serious about this business, right? Number 1, number 2, number 3. Anything can happen. You already know what's going to happen next in order to make money. Random distribution between wins and losses for any given set of variables that define an edge. An edge, nothing more than an indication of a higher probability of one thing happening over another. So that's what we're trying to do as traders. That's all we can do as traders. Okay, we're going to be wrong. All right, I'm wrong often. Okay, but that's okay. Right. What I'm looking for is the higher probability of not being wrong. And then when I am right, you got to ride the winners and get bigger winners. And when you're wrong, you got to cut losers, ride winners. Okay. Every moment in the market is unique. Mark Douglas, RP, he's the GOAT. Trading the Zone. Got to read that book if you're serious. Liquidity map, super important. We're just talking about this, and this is what I was just mentioning. We're talking about mapping out levels and trading with the overall trend. So I kind of go through this with due time at the classes at Phantoms. Talk about quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4, connecting these dots here, and we kind of put all that together. And we usually reference this a couple times throughout the session here today, no matter what, every day. So I got the monthly here, Thinkorswim. I got monthly here, weekly here, daily here, monthly, weekly, daily, just to give you all the quick lay of the land here. I got in the backdrop here, 60-minute time frame, 30-minute here, 5-minute here, 2-minute here, just to show you what you're going to be looking at. I'm going to start off with the S&P futures really quick. We just spoke a little bit about it on the daily time frame, but I'm going to try to do this a little bit more quicker here, pick up some speed. YouTube, we start a little bit later than usual. But we got, here's the current price. I'm on a 1-hour time frame of the S&P futures. And just really quickly, just for the Phantom, I got a ton of Phantoms in here, right? Mark Wahlberg, shout out. What's going on? Super Dave, what's going on? Hope you're well too, brother. Just before I move on real quick, yesterday's high, Globex high, Globex low, overnight, we wrap it out Globex high, Globex low, which is overnight high, overnight low. Now, Thinkorswim, the gray space is that overnight session. Yesterday's Globex high was there, yesterday's Globex low was there. And then we're going to be mapping out what's called an institutional level of demand below the Globex low. So yesterday we did have a little bit of you're not going to see the formation, the impulse right here on the 1-hour time frame. We had to drill down the small time frame, which I had to be a little bit careful with that on the small time frames. But this was the first level of kind of breakout. We had we had this market moving. There was a high right here, and then this level here, which carried over into this new high here. So we had 1 level and 2 levels of demand below yesterday's Globex low. Long story short story long, here we broke that Globex low, came into this little level right there. I think I missed this by like a point or 2 ticks right there. Okay, and then that was the G trap. So as we were long in the morning, and then we got out, and then I was mentioning to the team as we ended the session, watch out for you can get some shorts, get some negative GEX. We swipe lower, time into that G trap, super powerful, and that ended up being the low, okay, of yesterday, which we also going to reference here for today. Okay, now updating for today, here's the new today's Globex low. And here's the new today's Globex high. There you go, Super Dave. Here's that Globex low. If I look down and left, this level has not met. This level just got tagged and moved up, right? So I got to zoom in. So I had to zoom in on a 5-minute time frame to show you the impulse, debasing, and the impulse, because it missed by like a tick or 2, right? Now, could we still use? Is that still a level of demand below the Globex low for today, folks? Yes, right. Also, furthermore, in addition, it's also going to be below yesterday's low. So yesterday's low is very important to map out, because in addition to the Globex low, we also, which is super important there, mapping out yesterday's low, and also weeklies and monthly highs and lows, last week's, last month, etc. Could have what's called that G-trap, also liquidity sweep, right? So this is still going to be fairly valid for today, called the 6520 handle in the S&P futures for what's called a G-trap long, all right? Trapping people who are getting short, chasing price lower, lower, lower into a level of demand in the context of an overall uptrend, okay? And this is not this global, so I'm going to map out this daily low right here. And oh man, I miss my screens, man. I miss my screens. You are my fire, man. When you don't have your home base, it sucks. Yesterday's low. Getting cleaned up here. Joe Frank rolling over the to the Z contract, Santa Claus, December. Joe Frank's the man. All right, so if I drop back over here, all right. So I've got the 6520 right there. We also have this other level, secondary level down here, 6500, right, as potential G-trap longs, okay, which is going to be bullish. My Phantoms team will know we got 23 minutes before the market opens, so I got to kind of move on. I'll take the aggressive tag off this, however. All right, as we kind of moved up, we have more another day. So if this comes down here, that would be a better one. We got this daily low right here. Watch out. Watch out for this daily low sweep if we pick up volatility. All right, daily low yesterday. We talked a lot about liquidity sweeps, okay? Yeah, we've been nailing them, right? Just below these levels and swipe a little tick right there, a little bit below, sweep, right? So I also have this 6490. It's not yesterday's low, but it's just a daily low. So with that 6485 right below that, that could also be a sweep on the S&Ps. Again, I don't know if I'm going to get all the way down here today, but just got to prepare. You got to prepare, right? You got to prepare, right? You can have a plan in the morning, and then you get what does Mike Tyson say, right? Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face, right? So you have a plan, then one level gets knocked out real quick, and you're like, oh, you panic, and you get all flustered, right? That you can't do that, right? So you got to, okay, great, keep it moving. What's next? All right, Globex trap bearish. There's no objective level of supply. I mean, we got yesterday's high is an all-time high, but that could easily get kicked out or get popped out new high, right? Even NASDAQ has some kind of level of supply above for a G-trap, but I'm not even going to reference that. We're going to go to the option step in regard to that. Looking at the time, I got to move on here to the NASDAQ. Beautiful market. One of my faves, NAS. And oh my God, please tell me some of y'all Phantoms caught this. Yesterday's Globex high, Globex low here. Just going to clean these lines up here, man. Okay, there was yesterday's low, Globex low, yesterday's Globex high. And perfect, right? Broke the Globex low, had this drop basing in a rally, institutional level demand right there, 23,786. Ended up being the low of yesterday. G-trap. All right, great. Today, that was yesterday. New day here today. Carpe diem. Let's seize it. This is the new Globex low there today. Here's a new one for the high today. All right. Now, this level's been tested a couple times now, right? So, right, we were just chatting about that right now. Cool. Here's your cookie. Moving on with life. Be careful with this level, right? So this is going to be aggressive. It's going to be a wide zone. So you might want to update and kind of come a little bit lower here on this. And I would even say if we pick up some volatility, I just told you a little bit about the liquidity sweeps, right? So these are all daily lows. This is a daily low right here. And there's like a shelf right here, right? There's a shelf here. So a lot of stop losses are going to be built up here, okay? I don't have enough time to explain that at the moment, right? I'm hoping most people can kind of get with that depending on your experience with trading and investing. But this is not yesterday's low, but this is a daily low. But since I have that noted, let me just copy, paste that, boom, so we can, right? So I'd want to get that aggressive level below yesterday's low, below the Globex, below yesterday's low into here, okay? But there's also a daily shelf right here low. here. So what does this all mean? I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Aggressive G-trap could come in today, potentially in the NASDAQ 20. I'm giving you a bit more of the conservative one here, 23,750-ish, right below that global low and yesterday's low, okay, because this level has been tested multiple times. The fact that it's been tested multiple times, okay, we can put a pin on this daily low right below here, okay, at the 23,000, call it 7,000, but we also have this demand level. A decent, well, of course, we have one right there, but for this daily low sweep, this one could be a decent little G-trap as well. All right, so I'll put a oh, man. Right, so two main ones are going to be that 23,750 and then 23,690. Yeah, put your entry right below that, right below these sweeps. That's all Joe Frank does now. I used to put my stop loss right there. Let me put my entry right there. I no longer get stopped out. I am the liquidity of the proper side. What are these guys saying? If we break the Globex high today, yesterday's high, do we have a level of supply above in the NASDAQ? We do. Right here, yesterday we rallied up. Right, we already, absorbed everything up to this point in the NASDAQ, right? Because we rallied up yesterday, so it cleared everything up to here. So next up, potentially all-time high, if that could potentially happen today. In the event that happens, I mean, could you short the all-time high? I would suggest maybe not to. It's going to be hard to put your stop loss somewhere because it could just spike and it'll be more difficult. So time the S&Ps with this. But yes, you want to be selling short high, right? So that would be the time as we rally up. If we're long TP, take profit, that means, and this would be a new higher high away from the mean where you could take what's called a mean reversion short. Okay, be careful with that. We only have the all-time high, so I'm going to have to reference the S&P to use the NASDAQ to help because we don't have option step on Qs. All right, it's only it's an SPX thing for market maker gamma. Okay, again, I'm speaking a crazy language right there, but that's just what the deal is right now. I have to keep moving forward here. All right, so just watch out with just shorting that all-time high. It's going to be hard to put a stop loss because it could just swipe, right? Just finding kind of price discovery. So therefore, I'm going to have to use SPX. The New American Sniper. Yeah, man, your growth has been crazy, brother. You deserve it. Oh, okay. Hold on. I gotta... All right, VIX. Let me just move on. Gold. Gold. Gold, monthly, weekly, daily, up. Has been, we talked a little bit about seasonality breaking out, et cetera. It's been on a little bit of a range here overall for a couple of days, which is needed after the big rally here, right? So, I talked a little bit about yesterday. We have an impulse, basic impulse in blue right down here, right? That's why I color code, put that blue right in here. So this is gold futures. So we got the 36.15 handle. I'm going to just go straight to the smaller time frames here, right into the 60, just due to time. Our Globex high, yesterday's Globex high, Globex low, we remained inside of that all day yesterday, right? And so today, this is the Globex low, and this is the Globex high. Pretty easy chart here for today. For gold, if we break this, we have a couple levels of demand below, and I don't really need to say a lot here. I can probably just stop talking, take a sip of water here. Got a 36. We got a drop base rally right here. Okay, watch out putting your stop loss right below that level. That's probably going to be a stop loss on it. This 36.13 is going to be a better one. Why? Because we have below Globex low, could be below a couple of daily lows, but we're inside of an impulse right here on inside of the daily. So this is an impulse. This is a drop base rally inside of the daily time frame. So 36.13, 36.10 is going to be a better level in the event that gold picks up a bit more volatility to the downside. All right. Now you could take this level, of course. I have that there, and you might, you have to put your stop loss somewhere, right? So, of course, it'll be below that level. So just know this is what Joe Frank is talking about right now, because this level was developed overnight during the overnight session. So it's not going to be as strong or as powerful as, the levels that develop during the regular trading session. Okay, so I'll put a note there. So you might want to, now gold, you might want to just see how prices kind of come into this level and kind of react and respond. If you don't want to just place a limit order there, straight entry, stop loss right there. Okay, but just keep an eye on that 36.10 heel right below that obvious level right there. All right, but that did break out into a new high. Okay, that did break out into a new high. So I got to put some respect on that level. I have to put some respect on that level. We can easily just go, whoop, break the Globex low. That's the first level of demand right below Globex low, and then it just pops. All right, so that's definitely a nice little trade right there. All right, if we break the Globex high, we have the all-time high in gold. All right, so if just be careful shorting this, right? Make sure you're shorting as it rallies up into levels. There's only basically, if we're looking above the Globex high, there's only yesterday's high here, and then we have the all-time high. Right, so I could just see, because I've been doing this for 110 years, this is yesterday's high. And I can almost see them taking it like right in here, 37.05. Super aggressive G-trap short. Be careful with this. Super aggressive. I'm almost don't even want to put this on the board here. Why is it super aggressive? Look at the monthly, the weekly, and the daily chart of gold from the past couple of years. Straight up, not straight up, kind of some basing, but up, seasonality wise for gold. Typically strong going into the September, October, and Q4 of the year. All right, but doesn't mean that you can't take a short. Do it very diligently. I'm not going to be greedy on this. I'd much rather wait for right. If I'm going to take a short, I'll do a scalp, no problem. But I'd much rather wait for higher quality levels of demand. Okay, to get long, not just for day trading, but swing trading and even longer term trading as well. GLD, just religiously sell puts on that thing. As I was speaking about yesterday. Anyways, we got to move on in class. VIX, where you at? VIX volatility index of the S&P 500. Applied vol. Simple, there's a lot to this, but simply put here, 12 minutes before open, VIX down, market up. VIX up, market down. Inverse correlation. Mr. Blue, what do you think about SPY today? It's going to open in about 12 minutes. There's going to be a lot of buyers and sellers competing where prices could be going up, down, or sideways. That's what I think. So I am going to, when that bell rings, go to my process and get on board of where and trade my setups and where the buyers are overtaking the sellers and the sellers are overtaking when the sellers are overtaking the buyers. This is where I'm going to get long or short. I don't think I just trade my setups and I trade the tape. No thoughts. No thoughts. VIX, I know that's a hard, I'm not trying to be a prick or anything like that. I know that's a hard concept to think to think about right now. But as you grow as a trader, that's the one thing you got to clear your mind and just trade the setup. Your thoughts and your emotions and what you think it should happen, because right? I'm not saying this is what you're doing current, right? But over the year, as you grow as a trader, I can't say swears on this, but you have a phrase, no F's given, right? Get on the right side of the market and ride, no F's given, right? 2 lines, 3 colors. I'm not trying to be smart. In fact, I'm actually trying to make myself dumber so I could just follow a objective set of rules, because I would not be able to be doing this for so long that I've been doing this, and this lifestyle that I have, with thinking that I'm smart enough to think my way through every single day. No, process, system edge. Right? I could wake up one day and there's no trading setups, and you have to be okay with that, right? Anyways, right? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. VIX down, right? VIX down, market up, right? Simply put, a lot to that, but VIX down, market up. If VIX up, okay, the market could be down, right? So I just kind of pin the overnight high, overnight low, put some ellipses there, right? You kind of pin where the last time I saw it, And if we take out the overnight high and sustain above there, well, that could be a bit more bearish for the market, right? If we kind of come lower down here and remain low, or just market or VIX just calm down, that could be again more bullish for the market, which the market is in bull, right? So yesterday the VIX was kind of quiet, but what happened to the VIX yesterday? Started to creep, got some spikes, started to creep, got some spikes, started to creep, got some spikes. So yesterday VIX kind of grinded its way up a bit there, right? As the market's kind of grinded its way down, right? But then hit a level of demand, and then boom, now we're back up this morning, right? 10 minutes before open. Let's keep it moving. We got spies here. Yeah, Dad. We were trained by TikTok gurus to predict. Blue's a machine. I appreciate that, Walter. Make sure neither sellers or buyers don't take you. My man. Super Dave. Yeah, well, we already had a chat about that, right? Well, if you want to learn more, this is where I say, if you want to learn more, most retail traders lose. We'll help you fix your shit. Go to TradePhantoms.com, click register, right there. we got Walter in here. Let's fight up today. Eric A. Y'all are fired up. I love it. All right, here's spies. I got a weekly on the left. And I'm just going to switch that to the daily because so it's going to be kind of let's hide that over there. Keep it moving. Because I'm just preparing for 9 minutes for the open. I got to do this very quick. So here's SPY on a daily time frame, just really briefly. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Yesterday gapped up into a new high. A massive positive gamma node kind of just it took a little while, but faded, grinded lower. Okay, that was yesterday's high and low. And yesterday's close here, we're gapping up here. So pre-market quote right now as it stands on SPYs is about up 0.28%. Now this is going to be a gap up, still inside gap, but gap up. If I take that price, implied open, take that over to the SPX, roughly 2.8, give or take. Basically, the implied open very close to yesterday's open, about 65.50, give or take. Why am I getting that information? Well, we talked a little bit about this, right? Give a little footnote preface on this in regard to options depth. This is not Phantoms. This is a service that I personally pay for. Okay, I'm not affiliated with them or anything like that. But just keeping it short and sweet right now, getting that price of the implied open of SPX about 65.50, give or take. It could be plus or minus 5. Okay, as markets are still moving, of course. Let me just refresh this so this is fresh. And I'm going to pin where we're opening and zoom into what's above and what's below. Yeah, man. I don't want to get all political. Rule number one in Phantoms, we don't make anything political, right? But yeah, this world's getting a little crazy, man. Just geez, can people just be chill and stop killing each other, please? Please. Can't we all just be friends, man? Doesn't work that way. But all right, so this is a problem because this is why I want my home base, because there we go. Keep calm. All right, zooming in. What does all this mean? Now, this is a heavy topic. But real quick, 60, what did we say? 65.50, right? 65.50, we're opening up like a give or take right there. All right, 65.50. Man, there's stuff everywhere. But light color and below price. All right. Looks like there's a spread here. But you could try to keep it as short and sweet as possible. I'd pin that 65.90. There's a little bit of a positive gamma node right there. Of course, 66.40. That's a massive one there. I'm not sure we're gonna get all the way up there. But it's pretty 65.50 below us. It's pretty light in terms of the color GEX. Blue is positive gamma. Red is negative gamma. We don't really have negative gamma regime, but it's light. The color is light in here. We have a yellows, which is negative gamma. However, the thing with that is, looking at the 65.50, we have a couple of these bought calls for market maker exposure, which is providing some bought gamma. Okay, so the 65.45, as we're opening at the 50, that's going to be a thing there. And that might provide some demand support right at the market open, give or take. And then we have a little one here. It's a little bit smaller than this one, but it's a positive gamma node, 65.30. All right, so we'll put a note on that. Now, when this market opens, this will update too. And just want to get some reference. So 65, I'd say 85 above, just trying to stick out the ones that are outliers here. We get the 65.45 and 65.30. All right. I'll just move on from there. So we'll. Yeah, Mike, brother. I hear you. Like, I try not to. Like the mainstream media news, it's all BS, man. But crazy. So we got we got spies there. Did SPX Qs. I'm gonna do this extremely quick. Just go through gaps. Qs closed there. Yesterday's high, yesterday's low. Closed there. Qs made a new all-time high yesterday. Gap up. A little bit of a pain gap up. Decent. GLD on fire. Have to wait to sell some more puts on this thing. If you own some GLD shares, if you own some GLD shares in your long-term portfolio, I began to shave out a little bit yesterday after session. I started to shave out a little bit of some shares of GLD. Apple, GLD is the ETF of gold. Yeah, that Captain Condor guy, man. It's a. Well, I digress. People are attacking him. That stuff. What he's doing is just marketing, basically. He's putting size up, risking millions of dollars, though. Yeah, yeah. Last week was like record-breaking clenching of the siftal muscle. The siftal muscle. Siftal was it ass muscle? TLTTP. Oh, I'm not going to say his name because he doesn't have a name. He's the number one. He knows who he is. Nice. Here's the TLT move. Apple. No gap for the most part, but we're entering at a level. We're opening, I should say, at a level of demand than anything, right? We can't argue that, right? We get actually last month's VWAP too. We're below this month's VWAP. We got last month's VWAP here too. So Apple's at a level of area of demand. Watch out for a liquidity sweep here, and also watch out for a bit of a liquidity sweep right below here too. So if we do just open up and Apple does kind of like flush down a bit here, there's gonna be some pickup longs here. At least for a day trade. There might be better setups though. Let's see. Amazon weekly was giving us a little bit of a better setup, but it got slapped yesterday. I'm curious to see how it's going to be. What's today? Thursday, right? So we just swiped below here. It might have been a slap to trap some people on this. To trap. Oh, it's going to fill the gap. Trap them there on that mean revert for this month here. So I'm going to keep a keen eye on Amazon for today and into tomorrow as well. As far as a gap today, it's a slight gap up, nothing crazy. I'm not going to even say anything about it because it's just an inside slight gap up. So we'll just see how the intraday tape unravels. Here's the pre-market close there, gap up there. AVGO. AVGO was a beast yesterday. I wasn't even trading my bigger main account, which was annoying because this was a monster. Shout out to a Phantom member who called this out right in the morning. Massive what's called mortgage pain gap, which is what's called a mortgage gap. You don't know that? You know what that is? Go to TradePhantoms.com. You'll learn about that, right? So today close here, right? It closed there. All my lines are on this are messed up from earnings, but nothing to stop AVGO, right? Post earnings, just a monster. Red bar closed the prior day, and then we had a mortgage gap here. Got long options, just exploded. The team was winning, right? But I'm not even taking credit, right? Because somebody called that out beautifully. Google was another one that I'm kind of peeking at. Tesla, no gap in the middle of range. Microsoft, hard to touch. Wide range while here, just in mid range. Meta engulfing NVIDIA, gap up, AMD. NVIDIA, move up, move up, move up, gap up. NVIDIA's getting rangy. So we switch this over to the 2 real quick. Be patient off the open. AVJ was a monster yesterday. I didn't have enough size. I guess spies. Let me just check quick internals really quickly. Advanced declines positive 600, 700. Not extreme, but up. Valdi up 1.7. Extreme would be net positive or -3, but not extreme. Too early for cumulative take. VIX still just chilling out right there. We're just open, so not much of a change there. See MU. Breakaway gap on MU. Damn. So this is interesting. You might be hit with some high implied vol. Wide range bar of open here. We're trading 151. If you want to pick up to the 152 half, they're going for about 286 here for these. You lean against this wide range bar on the 2s. Long call. I'm not trading my other account. I'm out of my home right now at the moment. So I'm only trading this little, and I was out of internet several times yesterday. So I can't trade my size in my like bigger real account in life. So I'm trading this little smaller account here. So this is MU. Long call. Come on. You can see this thing's not there we go. Oh my god, this is, I gotta just switch this. Okay, this one's set up. All right, I'm gonna TP some here, okay? TP some MU. Battling technology here. TP some MU. Shout out with that Mark Wahlberg, my man. What a champion. All right, TP some MU here. Quick little scalp with a shitty ass computer, shitty ass laptop, with shitty internet. Thanks, Mark. Hood. Equal weighted's up, Fang down a little bit. Equal weighted. The mags are flat. But I will say, when the equal weighted is holding bids, that's actually a good thing for the overall market. And if the mag 7 picks up a bid, that's where you have markets can potentially go higher. But we got the mags. Apple Yeah, that MU is outside of 2 standard deviations on the monthly, on the weekly and the daily, if I'm not mistaken here. So, now make sure you reduce size and right markets pull back. I'm not done with this. Make sure you TPing, okay? And you can always put pullback orders too, like TP, pullback orders, and then the pullback. Right, it's high up there. It's pissing me off, man. Anybody got an extra room I can stay in when my chimney's getting fixed in my house that has good internet? Anybody got an extra room for Blue? Wait, I gotta chill. I'm on YouTube. I'm not in the Phantoms trade room, private trade room. Oracle fade. Yeah, this Oracle is most likely going to be a fade. It's a fade, meaning opposite. Let me see. That's a Dumpski. RCL. California, Daniel King, my man. Hopefully you're well, you and your family. That's great, Cali. Let's see. MU, trading 319. Now remember, you can work on pullbacks on this, but if you wanted to grab some puts, even just for like a day trade here today, maybe pick up 312 half, 365, 310, give or take. Looking at like a 30 delta, 20, 30 delta here. Those might be fairly decent. All right, so one of the things that you could do, like for example, if I said, okay, I want to pick up the 312 because I want to get some higher delta, you can get in this right now. It's pretty valid. On a fade. I'm trying to find things that are already work. My workspaces, I don't have them as much here. This is not cool. This is the bot put 312.15, or the put premium for the 312 strike. So if that pulls back, you can always put a pullback order here to buy that put. All right, so I'll throw a limit order in here at about 280 limit price for the 312 half strike put for tomorrow's expiration. I will say maybe later in the afternoon, depending on how this unravels, you can also maybe look at doing something for longer dated option expiration, not just like a day trade for today / tomorrow-ish, if you know what I mean. All right. Just put a limit order in there, 2.8. And then the number one Phantom was talking about ARM. ARM was setting up to look like. Gotta check the monthly, weekly, dailies. Beautiful. 100 bar continuation. Already got some fall through on it. Man, these Phantoms members are cleaning house, y'all. If you're not a Phantom member, I ain't saying shit. These boys and girls are cleaning house. They're better than me. leg into this arm here. I'm sure Morty caught that right off rip here. So we got a pullback entry here on arm 155 handle. Pick up the spread's a little wide on this, but we pick up the 157 half strike call and arm ticker. TPMU. Thank you, Modi. TP some MU. TP some ARM. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Put a pullback order back in the buy again. I've only taken Phantoms members trades. I didn't even think today. My Phantoms traders did the thinking for me. MU. Giving a big FU to the shorts. TP some. That thing ripped. What is happening with my workspaces here? Anyways, let's keep it moving. All right. So in arm, out arm. Add some more in here. Let me put that on this and get to the Netflix dump. Really? This still have VWAP. This is good, right? It's still okay. JP Morgan. JP Morgan's on a nice rip. JP Morgan's long book here too. Long book here if you want to try to work on some calls there. Apple probably. Man, Hood's looking really interesting. This is just a classic setup. Classic setup. Of course, monthly, weekly, daily up. I own this stock, long-term portfolio. Actually, one of my better trades of the year so far this year. Hood's interesting. We get long call Hood. The ARM contracts are going for about $1.70 right now. Price in Hood 118 half. Pick up the 119 simple. All right, let me put this on the board here. Watch out for ARM, just how it reacts on its VWAP. This is Hood, 119 strike. Day trade. might even be fairly, depending on how it closes, might be decent for a swing. We're gonna be a little careful with longs here, right? Just give a peek at internals. I gotta load that option step, man. Spies are trying to fade a little bit. We'll see if that continues. VIX on an uptick. We gotta watch out for longs, right? VIX is letting us know that a bit. Let me clean up some. Stuff here. Just kind of zooming into what's closest here. Oof, we're on a negative Kex regime. This thing pop. It was at 45, right? The SPX low is 45. That was the pre-market quote for the positive gamma. And we tag that and ripping off that a bit. And that's popping above a little bit of a negative GEX. I'm gonna take some long calls here on SPX ticker hood pop. Let me snag SPX first. The Apple pop KK. That's you, KK, right? Here you go, Mark. Mark locked in JP Morgs. Let's go. Yo, what is going on with this? And this is exactly why I can't trade big right now. Fucking sucks. I'm trying to. All right, here's hood. Make sure you TP some. All right. I'm trying to do my best here to get the system to just catch up, folks, but gotta get the chimney fixed in the house, man. Santa Claus is coming soon, right? We haven't even passed Halloween yet. But chimney, you know, that's where he comes from. Santa. SPX. I don't want to get too far away from. Oh man, I can't get options that loaded. Stay calm. 55. So pick up the 75. 65.75 long call SPX go for about 260. Let me just take a quick peek at VIX because VIX was kind of on a little bit of an uptick there. All right, didn't really take anything out. VIX declines are up, and the SPX equal weighted is up. So it means market's being supported by all the other 493 stocks, not just 7 Mag 7s. All right, you take a stab at this here, long call, SPX. I'll give you some risk first because just pop up on the premium chart here. ARM went back to kind of like break even up the, if you add, depending on what your prices were on that. I just gotta get all this stuff. I gotta get my stuff on this so I can see. I try to keep this as clean as possible. I don't need that. Those are annoying. I need those. I need that. I need that. And I need the piano open here so y'all can see. Okay. What is this? The 65.75 strike call on SPX. I'm going to hit this right now. Some people already hit it. Y'all already in some of it, better price than me. And I probably could have got this for like $2, $2.20 or something. So I just locked that in. Bought the ask, which is not ideal. Somebody in the chat. Can somebody in the chat narrate what's going on? It's like the Matrix. Yes, let me explain everything that I've been doing for the past 20 years of my life in 2 seconds. You can make money 3 trend lines, bro. 3 trend line touches. TP some hood. SPX gave a little pop, nothing crazy though, but that was a decent little pop though, I will say. If you had some size, just TP some. Let's go, Mark. That's what I'm talking about. Vibes. JP Morgan Ripper. I mean, TP JP Morgs. Apple trying to pop. I bet day 2. I bet it's looking like it's going to hold some of this Bitcoin here. I bet. All right. What do we have to do in SPX, y'all? It's the Matrix. We just touched a trend line. Let's hit it. Clowns. TP, get it more, hit it more. All right, so I got a shitty price. For the entry. Nice little river. Try on the TP campaign here, right? Mr. Blue, could you slow down for everybody because nobody knows what you're talking about? No, y'all catch up. Y'all catch up. So You problem, not a me problem. You should be inspired to get your butt in class. As I was when I saw real traders rip it. Wow. I want to be like that. Oh, I got to work at it? Oh, okay. Well, I'm just going to quit. And that's why no one will remember your name. Troy. Brad Pitt. Rides away on a horse. He'll slit somebody's. Well, I have to be careful with that because it just happened. All right, I'm out of here, team. I went over my hour. All right, there's arm. It's just meandering right now. No, man, thank y'all. I appreciate all Phantoms, man. Y'all got my back. I got your back. We got each other's back, man. That's how it works. I appreciate your patience with everything this week. So, works both ways, man. I genuinely love y'all. Genuinely. The real ones. XOM. Damn. Equal weighted ripping. It's going to be a long day, boys and girls. Lock in. It's a good trading day because of the CPI. So everybody's at the screens. Real traders. Tesla. I'm getting it. On call. Yep, no problem, Lauren. What's going on, Mark? That ticker. Okay. SPX at 560 Ripper. Hit that, boys and girls. Oh man, I miss my home. Hit that, traders. TP some. All right, so like from $2, $2.50, $2.80. I got it back. I got in a little bit late, and for $2 to about $5, $6. Good. Lock in. Hood popped too. JP Morgan. Did this fill? This is why. Oh man, Oracle. What, I missed this? We missed it. Oh, I missed it. I don't know if anybody else did. I just never pulled back. I'll recalibrate that. Hood. I'm letting y'all know. I'm not day trading my other bigger accounts, but right now because of the situation. But I'm gonna lock. I can swing trade, so I'm gonna lock in some hood. Okay. Wait, was it hood? Is it hood? Or what was the other? What was the one? Shit, no, I forgot. Oh, IBIT. Yeah, then I want. Dang, I missed this IBIT move because I wanted to get this, but I was only focusing on the SPX, and I thought I had more size on SPX, so it's kind of messing with me a little bit. But anybody smash IBIT? I can't believe I just didn't snag that real quick. Tony, love you too. Damn, IBIT was easy money. That was just easy. All right, folks. Yada yada. Great. In the final, blew out here, but if you're new, and I was making a couple of jokes. We have some fun, right? We have some fun at Phantoms, man. We learn. People people making money, right? I don't need to say nothing. I have to be careful saying that kind of stuff on socials, right? But man, just look at the crew, man. Look at the crew. So, if everybody started here, though, right? Everybody started here, didn't know what I was saying, whatever. Make a couple of jokes now. Now we're joking, inside jokes, and making some money. I took most of the trades that I took were from Phantoms members. So shout out Modi, shout out Joe Frank, shout out Mike Jameson, shout out Mark Wahlberg, KK. Right? These are all people that are Phantoms members that are trained and are identifying proper setups, not thinking. I had not one thought. Somebody asked me this morning, hey, what do you think about SPYs today? I don't know. And we ding, 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 market open, Phantoms members hitting it, telling me what tickers to do because I'm not at my proper screens. I'm working off a shitty laptop right now. And SPYs went up a little bit, ROS went down a little bit, but because we have what's called a positive COG, things lined up appropriately, got long calls. So I didn't know that was going to happen, right? You just wait for your setup, and then you attack it. But how do you know what to look for? Start here, right? If you want to know, right? Click on register. That's phantoms.com. And then today, right? September 11th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Name, email, phone number there. Click register, right? And then you'll get sent a link. And I'm not going to read this whole thing out, but that's the thing that is going to be spoken about for about 90 minutes, give or take. How markets really work. What Phantom is all about, how we approach things. Myself, Mr. Blue here, and then Mr. Black, and then Mr. Green will host this. Mr. Green and Mr. Black will host this, not I. Sometimes they do that together. All right, so they'll give you a runaround here, right? Stocks, futures, forex, options, even crypto, right? I just missed a quick little crypto IBIT trade, very simple right there. You can still work on that today. But even if you're day trading, swing trading, long-term trading, doesn't matter. Wealth management, we just talked a little bit about wealth management yesterday, selling cash secured puts, Warren Buffett style. So all the way down to you just saw, our team here scalping some quick futures right off the open, even futures or and or options. Okay, so small account, don't matter. I'm trading a small account right now, and I'm annoyed right now because I'm not trading my bigger account over here to the left of me, right? So it is what it is. So you can do it. Multi-directional trading, everything. We got you covered, man. Everything there. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, that's great as well. We're still going to do our thing and train our traders and continue to grow as a team, right? There's no I in team. Love y'all. God bless. Take care. Blew out. Appreciate y'all patience. Trade safe. Don't give back your profits.